What's up guys, Woody here, back with another first impressions video, and today we are talking about Century Age of Ashes. Now if you'd have said to me, or if anyone had said to me, Woody, in 2021 a game's going to come along where you play as a dragon and you're flying around and you're shooting other dragons and it's going to be cool, I'd have probably been like, do you know what, that does sound like a cool idea, but it won't happen. I don't think a game like that will ever happen. Well, how I was wrong. We have the lovely people at Playwing have come along and been like, bang, there you go. Here's Century Age of Ashes. Enjoy it, indulge in it, and just bloody love it. Because I'm just gonna get out there straight away. I'm absolutely loving this game. Now I will say quickly, the game isn't actually out yet. I've been fortunate enough to be playing in a closed beta. It went live on Friday the 12th, I believe it was, of March, and it's running through for about a week, this closed beta. But the game is releasing in early access in April on Steam. I've looked around and I've seen people asking and and kind of teasing or even hinting towards consoles, but I've not seen anything locked in and confirmed. So I can't say anything there, but it's definitely coming to Steam in April in early access. So what on earth is Century Age of Ashes? Well, as I kind of said, you fly around on a dragon. To put it into kind of like a genre pitch or a genre sentence, it would be best described as a kind of arena-based dogfighting shooter where you play as a dragon with ability or class-based abilities. Like, that's kind of the best way of describing it. It is very much, like I said, you're set an arena. There are 3 different classes at the moment. More, I'm sure, will come. Each class offers a different kind of play style or team synergy, and there are different game modes. Some just kill as many other dragon riders as you can. Some actually complete objectives. And yeah, we're going to be diving into all of that in this video. Now, I'm going to break this video down into 3 parts. We're going to be looking at design, we're going to be looking at gameplay, and we're going to be looking at the free-to-play element, because this game is free-to-play, and it's one of the biggest questions that pops up on people's minds. And this is kind of how I want to do these first impression videos now, is break them down into not always the same 3 segments, but segments that suit or are best related to that game. So enough of that, let's actually dive into really chewing the meat of this game. So at first, design. Now, the design of this game, what I mean by design is kind of visuals, audio design, just a general how it looks and feels, shall we say, not so much how it plays. And, I mean, you can probably see from the gameplay you guys are seeing now, this game looks absolutely delicious. Like, I cannot stress to you how pretty this game is. It is exceptionally pretty, and it runs incredibly well. And I'm running on a pretty tanky PC. I was playing with people who were running on lower end PCs, and it was running fine on ultra, everything set to max. It was running absolutely fine. I ran it in 4K. It was running fine. If I streamed in 4K or recorded and played in 4K, there was some issues here or there, like a little bit of frame rate dropping down to around about the 45s, 40s, not sticking at 60, but otherwise it was absolutely fine. For the most part, design-wise, this game smashes it out the park. It has a cool aesthetic to it. It has a cool feel to it. It looks glorious. It has so much nice design, I suppose, for lack of a better term, to it. I say for the most part because there are 2 things that are concerns to me. One is a very an individual concern. The other one a bit more so. So the first one is audio design. Audio design in this game is a little bit odd and a little bit weird. I'm going to put this down to the fact that we're not even in early access yet. This is a closed beta. Now, what I mean by odd and weird is when you're playing in matches, even with music on, there is no music and you only hear very close proximity sounds. So there'll be times when it's just no sound, like maybe the odd little flapping of wings, which is fine, but it leads to some weird moments. Like there was like this odd moment of isolation where I'd be kind of flying around in this chaotic arena of mayhem, and I'd just be like, this feels a bit eerie. I didn't quite get it, and that's probably me just being personal or me thinking that didn't quite sound right. Maybe a bit of music in there. Maybe it's because I'm even used to these kind of games having like an arena announcer shouting out like, "Kill, this team takes the lead," or things like that, and I don't actually want that in this game, to be honest. So yeah, that's my kind of little pet hate on that one. And the other one, which is even more of an individual pet hate, is I love the visuals of this game in terms of they just look glorious and stunning. However, my only concern going forwards, and this is, again, a very individual concern, is that the cosmetics for this game will be very bland and boring. Now, what I mean by that is, there can be kind of, oh look, you got a white dragon, or oh look, you got a yellow and black dragon, you got a red and black dragon, which is fine, it's all cool, but I quite like it when some of these more fantasy games go a little bit more curveball and go a little bit more crazy with their skins and their cosmetics. Give me a pink and yellow dragon, like give me a weird feather hat or something, give me some kind of like a neon light thing I can stick on my dragon's tail, something stupid, something that looks a bit odd or curveball in this situation. I mean, we're flying around on mythical beasts, for crying out loud. Give me something that stands out a bit more. That's, again, a very personal thing, because I know there'll be some people going like, no, I don't want to fly around on a pink and yellow dragon. I'm happy with a red and black dragon, which is fine. But again, that's my only concern after looking through the store and what they've got in the store and what you can kind of get now and things like that. The skins look cool. They do look cool, but they look safe is the best word I can say on that. Now, just to wrap up design, I want to give a quick, very big nod to the UI. I don't so much mean the menu UI, because that's perfectly fine, it works, it's functional and it's understandable. The in-game HUD or UI in this game is exceptional. It is very minimalist and it does everything it needs to do through color coordination. And that, once you get your head around it, is incredible. To the way you dodge projectiles and the way they track projectiles. It's very simple to see this red line projectiles following you where it is behind you. When it starts to turn white, you're going to dodge it. When you look at an enemy, they have a little circle with their shield. You can see health. You can see how much shield they've got. You can see how much protection they've got. You can start seeing everything without it having these big, obnoxious like elements in your face. And it's very, very well done. It really means the action of the game stands out because there's not this obnoxious UI. There's almost no HUD. There's a few abilities down in the bottom right-hand corner and a score in the top left-hand corner. And that's basically all you really see. And that really pays dividends to really highlighting and showing off the brilliant gameplay that is on offer. And that's what we're going to dive into now. Let's dive into some gameplay. So, obviously, no matter how good Century Age of Ashes or any game looks, the key question or point is, how does it play? Does it feel good to play? And I have to say, Century Age of Ashes feels bloody great to play. I went into this game with very low expectations, and I don't know why. I kind of saw it and was like, this looks like an incredibly fun idea, but I just feel like it's going to be really poorly executed. I feel there's going to be restrictions on it because to get a full free-flowing fighting dragon arena shooter just seemed a bit too ambitious for me. I don't know why, it just did. And I was completely wrong. They've absolutely nailed it. The game feels incredible. Flying around on a dragon feels actually like super, super fun. And there's a brilliant skill ceiling to the game as well, where when you first start flying out, just movement with your dragon takes getting used to. But when you start playing against higher level players, you can see how they're dodging, how they're moving, how they're banking and setting up for counterattacks. It's like genuinely glorious to look at and watch and think, I will get there one day. I will be the Maverick of the Dragon universe one day. And I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying that. I will be. I'm not even kidding. I will be at that echelon of greatness when it comes to Dragon universe. But that's a video for another time. But gameplay here, honestly, is super, super fun. At the moment, it's very restrictive, and I don't mean that in terms of the gameplay restrictive. The content's restrictive at the moment, but then again, we are playing in a closed beta, so this is probably very much more a stress test on servers, so much of, look at all the shiny content we have got. So currently there is one map in the game, or two maps technically. There's one 3v3 map, and there's one full map. However, the 3v3 map is just a smaller section of the full map. And there are 3 game modes. There's a 3v3 mode. There are 2 6v6 modes. One 6v6 mode, which is like a TDM, with a little bit of extra spice thrown in for good measure. And the other one's like a checkpoint gate system where you've got to get a flag for a certain amount of points to win the game or have the highest score when the time runs out. Both of them do a nice good job of kind of mixing up and showcasing the gameplay in its variety, I should say. But more so what they do is they kind of lean into the actual classes of the game. Now, I mentioned earlier there are 3 classes currently in Century Age of Ashes. There's what you call a Marauder, there's a Windguard, and there's a Phantom. Marauder's kind of your, not traditional, kind of an all-rounder / tank, if I was to put a label on them. You've got your Windguard is support, and then your Phantom is more of a kind of assassin, if you was to put, again, a name on them. And they do handle differently, and this kind of took me by surprise, actually. I don't know why. I just expected the abilities to be different, not so much the actual handling and the nuances of the dragons to be different. And they genuinely are. The way, not only just the way they handle, the way that you need to play them, the way that you need to approach each situation. The Windguard is extremely fast in a straight line, flying a wyvern, and pretty agile, whereas the Phantom is insanely agile, but pretty squishy. You're staying low and coming up and killing people and coming back down, and it's incredibly powerful. And then the Marauder is pretty tanky, but doesn't control very well. Turning quickly, flying through the castle is pretty hard on the Marauder. However, it does have a little bit more tankiness to it, and the actual fire output that you can put out, or the firepower you can put out with the Marauder, is substantially more than you can do with the others. Every class has the exact same standard abilities. They all have fireball projectiles, and they have a fire breath. Fire breath being short range attack, fireball projectiles being like mid range attack. There's not really any long range attacks at the moment. There's a couple that you can kind of snipe with, kind of, but most of it's to do with getting close and locking on. There's not really, on the other side of the map, I'm going to shoot where I think they're flying. And then you have abilities. Every class has 2 abilities. You choose from one of these abilities before the match goes in. And then every class has an ult as well. And it's the ult that really plays into the play style of the class. Ults actually respawn pretty quick. So it's not a case of, oh, I've used my ult once a match. When I was playing Marauder, I was probably using my ult 6 or 7 times a game. When I was playing Windguard, I was using her ult around about 4 or 5 times a game. And honestly, Phantom's probably again 6, 7 times a game. So the ults really are there to play into team synergy. And then kind of finishing up on gameplay, team synergy. I played with a team and I played solo. Now the game, you have modes like Carnage, which is your spiced up TDM, and Gates of Fire, can be played solo. I jumped in 66 queues, often solo, and had a lot of fun with them. There was still team synergy going on. You can still play your part as a team. You still understand, okay, I'm playing support, I can help this person out, I can revive them, give them a shield, or I'm playing Phantom, I need to be trying to look for who's at half health and picking them off, and things like that. So team synergy is definitely in there. Now, when I played 3v3 with a team of 2 other people, so we were in a full team of 3 playing other teams of 3 or randos of 3, that's where team synergy really started to come about. We were getting wrecked at times, and quite rightly so, because the other team was just very good at knowing how to play the game. We were quite new to the game at the time, and the way they were kind of, there's always someone on you. They were always behind you. And that wasn't them cheesing or cheating the game. That was just them being good. And that made, as much as it's frustrating to lose, I actually walked away from that situation thinking, okay, the skill ceiling here is high. Like, there's a lot to learn. And 3v3, I'd imagine, would end up being the competitive ranked mode, because it's it just plays well for it. It is very tactical, very, if you commit to a dogfight at the wrong time, you're running low on stamina, then you're probably going to die. And I should probably touch up on stamina, actually, because it is a key part to the gameplay. The way stamina works in the game is you have 4 like little diamonds of stamina at the bottom of the screen, and you can boost, double tap RT on controller to boost, and you would consume a piece of stamina. You do it 4 times, you run out of stamina. Stamina does regen over time, but it's extremely slow, but there are these kind of greeny blue veins or rifts under the water you can see at times, and by hovering over those or flying over those, you'll regain stamina. Management of stamina in this game is what separates new players from advanced players. Because if you get caught in a dogfight or you're being chased with 0 stamina, you're dead. Straight up, you are dead. There's no way for you to get away from it, for you to evade any incoming projectiles, to get away from anything. If you're not boosting and they're boosting, you're dead. Simple as that. And that kind of, again, leans into quite a simple mechanic, but thought out well and managed well in this game, means that it's actually a very competitive game to play and a really, really fun game to play. But that's kind of wrapped up my gameplay, and We're going to tap up now on free to play. How free to play is Century Age of Ashes? So as I mentioned, Century Age of Ashes is a free-to-play game. It's releasing in early access in April, and the build I'm currently playing in the closed beta, again, was free-to-play. You had to request access. There is no way of spending money in the current build. Obviously, that will change when it releases in early access, but at the moment, there is no way of dropping real-world money in the game. That's all locked off. Only you can buy stuff in the shop through in-game progression. Now, I would say for the majority, it appears to be that the free-to-play element here is pretty damn good, actually. And I'll say that for the majority because obviously I've not seen the game in its full released state in terms of its early access release state. Things might change. Now, the reason I say it's pretty good is the leveling up in Century Age of Ashes. It works much like Call of Duty. There are 100 levels, and then at the end of the 100 levels, you kind of prestige. In the game, they call it Renown. You reset and you go for another 100 levels, and you do that 10 times, and you get to Renown 10, level 100. God, I don't know. Maybe they send you a certificate in the post. Who knows? But every level that you level up, you get rewards. You get gold. Pretty much you get gold every single level. There's 1 or 2 levels I didn't get gold, but you always get something. You get gold. You get stuff like XP boosters. You get cosmetics, armor items, dragon eggs, which I'll touch on in a minute. You get like dragon skins, weapons for your, or armor for your rider, for new armors for your tails for your dragon, and all that kind of jazz. Which I will say, the cosmetic here is very well done. Almost every element of the rider and the dragon can be customized in its own way. But yeah. Now the reason I say it's well done is because also on those leveling up sections, you get premium currency. You get gems, which are straight up premium currency. Now, it starts quite low and it gets more as you kind of go through the levels. Now, how much premium currency you get is hard to work out in terms of value of it in relation to cosmetics at the moment, because the cosmetics in the store are limited. There's only one set of cosmetics already in the store. Now, we worked out on stream, you need to get to about level 55 to be able to buy a legendary skin. A legendary skin is 2,500 gems. And you need to get to level 55 to be able to buy that without spending a single penny on the game. That's obviously going on the fact that you don't buy any other cosmetic as well. Now, from what I've played so far, I put 10 hours in the game and I'm currently at level 9. So you're probably looking at about an hour, as you get to that point there, probably about an hour to an hour and a half per level. So you're probably looking at around about 65 to 75 hours to get to level 55 to get a free legendary skin. Now, some people will say that's ridiculous. That's far too often. The fact that it even gives you premium currency is pretty damn good. I've played many free-to-play games that just don't give you any premium currency. So you put the 75 hours still means you get 0 premium currency in the game. So it's pretty good that they do that. It's not the quickest time, I can get a legendary skin every 20 hours. You got to put the time in to get the legendary skins. Now, the legendary skins aren't the be-all and end-all. There are smaller skins. There are also skins just by leveling up your character. Just by playing the game, there are actual skins as well. And they're pretty cool skins, some of them. You can also buy some skins with gold, I will say that. You get gold every game. You get like about between 60 and 100 gold every game. And then every time you level up, you get between 800 and 1,000 gold. And a epic skin costs around about 20,000, 25,000 gold. So that should give you an idea. You've probably got to put about 15 to 20 hours in and you'll be able to buy an epic skin as well if you want to. Now, there's no battle pass at the moment. I would imagine there will be a battle pass in the future. It's kind of perfectly set up for a battle pass, especially with the amount of customization options on offer here as well. And honestly, I'm not concerned about the free-to-play element. The only thing that does... Oh, actually, before I go on to that, dragon eggs, because I mentioned dragon eggs. Dragon eggs are not loot boxes. Before people start kicking off and going, oh my god, loot boxes are in the game. They're not loot boxes. What dragon eggs are is they are locked skins to a set dragon. So let's say I'm playing Wingard. There's a Wingard dragon egg that I collect. That skin... The skin inside that dragon egg is set. It's not I got this skin from the dragon egg. Oh, my friend got a different skin from the dragon egg. There's no random rolls on the dragon eggs. You get the dragon egg, and when you unlock it, you get the skin. Now, the way the dragon eggs work, they're a little bit odd. I kind of like them to a certain point, but it does slow down leveling. So when you get a dragon egg, Let's say it needs 6,000 XP to hatch. Let's you play a game, you get 1,200 XP. 600 of that XP will go to you actually leveling up, and the other 600 will go to hatching your egg. When you break the threshold, the 6,000 threshold of your egg hatches, and you get a new dragon. The new dragon's effectively a skin. It's not a whole new class. It's a new skin for a dragon in the game. There's no way of seeing what the skin is going to be inside the egg. However, the patterns and colours on the egg do represent pretty much what the skin is going to be to a certain extent. So yeah, I just wanted to clarify that in case people think, oh, I've seen dragon eggs, it's got to be loot boxes. But no, the only concern I do have about the free-to-play element is in the store, there is a tab for classes, which is obviously where they bring new classes into the game. Now, this is pretty standard, and I completely understand if the game charges for new classes. However, I would expect it to charge for new classes with premium and currency and gold currency. That's the way most games do it. So my only concern is if they don't offer a gold currency option to buy new classes, then you would be having to drop cash into the game to buy new classes, or through leveling up you could buy classes, but that would take away your ability to buy skins as well. If they go down the gold option, I think it'll be fine. I would imagine between 20 and 25,000 gold per new class, maybe slightly higher, maybe 30,000 gold per new class. I think about other games I played recently, Rogue Company. Rogue Company, I think you need to put in around about 20 to 30 hours to get enough currency to buy another character. If you work on that between 20 and 30 hours to be able to buy a new class, I think that's fine, to be honest, if you're going to go down the free route as well. I think that's absolutely fine. But that's my only little concern with it. One tiny little point I want to add on about the free-to-play is the daily system. Now, as you expect, there's weeklies and dailies in the game. Weeklies are pretty standard, and honestly, they're fine. I've completed almost all my weeklies as they've released, and it's been fine. The dailies, I'm a little bit more concerned about. The daily system is set up basically, so every time you finish one of your dailies, you get a key. And the more keys you get over the course of the week, the better the prize you get at the end of the week. That's fine. I kind of like the way it works, to be honest. My concern or issue is that the dailies are very hit and miss. And I'm talking very hit and miss. My first two dailies were ridiculous. First off, I had to get into a certain game mode. And at the moment, there's no way of choosing game modes. So when I choose simple match or play match, I have a 50-50 chance of getting Carnage or Gates of Fire. So I had to hope I got the one I want. And then I had to go Berserk, which basically means there's a Phoenix bird flying around the map. And if you kill it, you go Berserk. But there's 11 other players also trying to kill that bird. So I've got to be the one that kills that bird. And then I've got to go and kill 4 people while I'm Berserk. Berserk's only a 60-second timer. So I need to go and kill 4 people in 60 seconds, which is hard enough on its own anyway. If I don't, I've then got to do it all over again. Hope I find the game. Hope I'm the one that kills the bird. It felt more like a weekly. My first 2 dailies genuinely felt... Actually, they were harder than weeklies. I finished my weeklies before I finished my dailies. And I didn't even finish those dailies. I was at a point of kind of giving up even trying to do my dailies until my most recent one, which was based around the class to Phantom. I had to land 5 shots on an enemy while I was in stealth mode as Phantom. I've done it in like 3 games. And to me, that's how a daily's meant to be done. Like 2 or 3 games, maybe 4 games, I'm done. I'm brilliant. I'm happy. I've got my key. Excellent. So I was really down on the dailies. And then I played my most recent daily and it was fine. I know I'm spending a long time speaking about dailies here, but it does come into the free-to-play element because the rewards behind the more keys you get are genuinely substantially better. Just getting 1 key gives you like 200 gold. Getting 7 keys, so doing your daily every single day of the week, gets you like 500 gold, gets you potential chance of gems, gets you XP booster, gets you a scroll, but I don't even know what scroll does. It gets you an armor item, and it gets you a chance of getting a dragon egg. So there's a big difference between 1 key and 7 keys. So if the dailies are going to be hit and miss and really bullcrappy at times, that is going to have an effect on the free-to-play element of the game. But yeah, I've kind of spoke for longer than I wanted to speak, to be honest. I've rambled on and chatted on, but hopefully that gives you guys an idea of, firstly, what Century Age of Ashes is, and 2, why this game is genuinely fucking brilliant. Like, I'm really, really enjoying the game. I'm going to be playing more this week in the closed beta, and I'm really looking forward to the early access release and seeing what Playwing do and playing through new maps and playing through new modes and everything else. But the game is really, really fun. I'm having an absolute blast of it. I'm not sure if you can still get access, but by all means, I'll put a link to the Steam page below. Head over there and try and get access if you want, or at least check the game out. And if you are interested in it, obviously, maybe wishlist the game. And when it launches in April in early access, then you'll be notified and you can make sure you get in there and start dragon slaying as early as possible. I'm tempted to do some more videos on this game, guys. I'm tempted to do 5 tips to get started and also 5 game modes I'd like to see in the game. I'm not too sure on it. Let me know if you want that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments and I will definitely think about getting that content done. But honestly, it's been a pleasure chatting to you guys about Century Age of Ashes. I'm having a blast in the game. I know people I'm playing with are having quite a lot of fun in the game. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the wider reception is when it's available in April. But until next time, have a great day, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you guys are. Stay safe, take care. And until then, goodbye.